This is the iPhone 15 Pro, this is the iPhone 17 Pro. Which iPhone should you get, and which one is the better value? Drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, let's get started. You can't talk about good value iPhones right now without talking about the iPhone 15 Pro. This is an awesome iPhone. This still has USB-C, the titanium design, the triple camera system, an amazing telephoto, the incredible OLED 120Hz display, the same dynamic island, and the overall same look as the newest and shiniest iPhone 17 Pro. Obviously, this has a completely new design, new materials, and new camera systems. But overall, if you squeeze it, they are about the same thing. These two iPhones are only 2 years apart. Even though they look a bit different, that's because the iPhone 17 Pro got a redesign. And the colors are also a bit different. Other than that, these phones are really closer than you actually think. Because they do share the same display, although the 15 Pro has a smaller 6.1-inch display and the 17 Pro has a slightly bigger 6.3-inch display, the differences are very small. While this one has a bit bigger bezels, the 16 Pro and 17 Pro feature thinner bezels. So side by side, you will notice a difference. Everyday use, you won't. And that's the only differences in terms of display, which in my opinion are very similar between these two phones and are not justifiable for the upgrade over the 15 Pro. But, and then the big but, is the 15 Pro also features the action button. And here's another thing. The 17 Pro features the action button and the camera button. So you feature a new customizable button, which are the camera button. The thing is it worth it? No. One big difference between these two phones is the way that they feel in the hand. Yes, I know, they are just 2 years apart. How can they feel so different? Well, they do. Because the 15 Pro is made of titanium, this is made of aluminum. And at first, they might think like, oh, that's not that big of a difference. But it is. This one, the 15 Pro, is much more lighter and easy to carry around. And I do prefer the feeling in the hand of titanium. It's so cool, so great. While the 17 Pro feels like aluminum. They are both like anodized aluminum, anodized titanium. So the feeling it's close to each other. But this one is much more scratch prone. So it scratches easier. It's way less resistant. And it's cheaper. Let's admit that. While the 15 Pro is made of titanium. But this is anodized titanium. This is not the shiny titanium you'll find on the iPhone Air. So it looks great. It's stealth. The black looks awesome. And feels much better. And at the end of the day, is much more resistant. This phone is like 2.5 years old. And I'm looking at the sides. Not a single scratch, dent, or sign of use. While the aluminum of the iPhone 17 Pro currently is still brand new because I wear a case. But if I hadn't, oh boy. This will be completely scratched up. Aluminum scratches way easier, is way less durable, it dings up, it picks up lots of scratches. So be careful with your iPhone 17 Pro. 15 Pro materials are better, way better. And the way it is constructed feels nicer in the hand. But it compromises because the 17 Pro cools itself much better. Aluminum allows itself to be much cooler in very warm environments or when you're having a lot of heavy use with the CPU. So I understand why Apple did it, and that's the big difference between these two phones. This one gets hotter, way hotter, and dims the display brightness, while the iPhone 17 Pro manages to cool much better, and manages heat in a way that it allows itself to push it further with the CPU, the A19 Pro chip, and to still be cool with the full brightness outside. To take photos and videos, this one wins, definitely, if you are a heavy user on your iPhone. The 17 Pro in the hand feels way heavier than the 15 Pro, but that's because it has a bigger battery, much bigger battery, and so has much better battery life. At the end of the day, I would say this one has around 30% more battery life than the 15 Pro. This currently does not last the whole day. You have to charge it, but if it does, it will be very tough. While the 17 Pro is definitely 1.5 day, 2-day iPhone if you are not a heavy user. And when they were new, these were about the same thing. A 1-day iPhone, 1.5 day iPhone. So I would say around 30% if you give or take for margin of error. This is actually a very big jump if you want the small iPhone, but you still want a better battery life and you want the really good battery life. The 17 Pro is your only option because this one is small, compact, and still has Pro Max battery life from older generations. While the 15 Pro battery is definitely a compromise. Otherwise, it's still an awesome iPhone because it still has USB-C, just like the iPhone 17 Pro. It still has the action button, just like the iPhone 17 Pro. It does not have the camera control, unlike the iPhone 17 Pro, but camera control sucks, and that's actually an advantage instead of being a disadvantage. I've talked about this several times. I hate camera control. I've talked about to other people that have camera control. They hate it too. It's a very poorly implemented feature. I think it's annoying, at least, and intrusive at most because it's so badly implemented that it's actually in the way whenever you are taking photos and videos on your iPhone. And I noticed that a lot with my iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. With this smaller iPhone, it's easier to place your fingers on other places, and so you actually avoid the camera control, but it's there. It will bump you up, it will change your focus, it will change your exposure, it will change your lens whenever you don't want to. Whenever you are taking selfies like this, your finger right here at the top, it's touching the camera control and changing all these settings without you knowing, without you wanting, and it's very, very, very annoying, and I've ruined selfie photos because of this. And so, 15 Pro not having it is actually better than having it. It's not a neutral thing, it's better. Trust me, better. As for the cameras, here is where we'll see probably the biggest differences between these two phones. They still have the same main sensor. Both phones share the same 40 megapixel main sensor camera, so the photos that you can take with this one are pretty much the same. They still have the same 24, 28, and 35 millimeter options for both phones, so the main sensor is about the same. Takes the same photos, takes the same dynamic range. Maybe just a little bit better with the iPhone 17 Pro with the new chip, but that's it. The biggest differences lie on the other lenses, the ultra-wide and the telephoto. Because this iPhone is the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max, there are some differences between the two phones. The 15 Pro features a 3x telephoto, while the 15 Pro Max featured a 5x telephoto. If you are talking about the 5x telephoto on the 15 Pro Max, the differences are subjective, in my opinion, because this one has a 40 megapixel telephoto that can zoom in 8 times without losing quality, sometimes. And the 4x is a bit less further zoom. So it depends what you like. If you like the 120mm look, the 5x is better. If you like the 100mm look, the 4x is better on the 17 Pro. But if you compare it directly to the 15 Pro that has a 70mm telephoto lens with the 3x, it's a different story. And I would say completely is definitely, objectively worse than the 17 Pro's telephoto. So I would say that in terms of cameras, this one is definitely better, obviously, on the telephoto and ultra-wide, because this ultra-wide camera is 40 megapixels, is sharper, better with low-light photography, and better with video. Overall, this is simply a better camera system than the 15 Pro. But if you have the 15 Pro, you would say to me, but I still love these photos. I still takes incredible photos. And I would say, you are so right. This phone still takes awesome video, awesome photos. It's still one of the best iPhones to do so. It's still completely up to date. And so, if you don't want to spend like $1,000 on this iPhone, but $700 on this one, this is $1,100 by the way, makes complete sense. And I would say that is where we reach the most important part of today's video, and that's the price between these two phones. The price gap currently is really big. You can get this iPhone for like $650 right now with 256 gigabytes of storage. This iPhone costs ridiculously $1,100 with 256 gigabytes of storage. So the price gap is like $400 at minimum, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, guys. That's like, I wouldn't say it's double the money, but I'd say it's like 40% more. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you need to justify it. This still has Apple Intelligence. The software system is still completely up to date. You are not missing out on anything. You still have the incredible triple camera system that does 95% of what this iPhone does. Obviously, if you really need log footage, if you really need that ProRes RAW log 2 footage from this iPhone that can also record a sickening amount of detail with this iPhone for professional movies, obviously you will buy the iPhone 17 Pro. But you wouldn't be watching this video. If you are watching this video, you are a normal consumer that wants to decide between these two phones, if it's worth it to actually pay the extra money to buy the newest and shiniest, or if you should actually save a little of money and buy the best value iPhone, in my opinion, in 2025, which is the 15 Pro. And I would say that this iPhone is definitely the option for you to go, because you will get 90% of the experience of the iPhone 17 Pro here with the 15 Pro, and you will spend like 40% less. Totally worth it, in my opinion, if you ask me. Obviously, this one does not have the orange color. Obviously, this one does not have the newest and shiniest design. Obviously, this one won't have the newest and shiniest battery life. But the experience you get, for most people, this iPhone is the best value iPhone you can grab. And yes, I've made a complete comparison between all of the iPhones you can buy in 2025 and which ones I actually recommend for every budget. So go check out my latest video on that. I will leave the link in the description down below. But between these two phones, I would say that if you have unlimited money or if you want the newest and shiniest, pick up the 17 Pro. But if you are decided between which iPhone should you buy and which one is actually the better value and you want to save money, buy the 15 Pro or the Pro Max if you want the 5x telephoto. I would say that if you can actually grab a Pro Max iPhone for $100 more, it's worth it. You get a bigger battery, which will be better in terms of battery degradation. You'll have better battery life, and definitely will have a better camera system simply because of the 5x telephoto. In my opinion, makes a big difference, and you can actually compete with this 4x 40 megapixel main sensor on the 17 Pros, and it will give you a completely different experience with your camera system for portrait photography, which I personally love. And the 15 Pro can take beautiful, beautiful shots on that. So if you want to follow my advice and you don't really care about the size of the phone, grab the 15 Pro Max for the extra money. If you're completely dead on set on a small iPhone, like this one with a 6.1-inch iPhone, this is the best one you can grab. If you want the replacement for the iPhone 12 mini, 13 mini, the 15 Pro is the iPhone for you. Cheap enough to be worth and to be great value, still has USB-C, still has the titanium design, still has a great camera system, and average battery life. Grab one, you won't be disappointed. This is the iPhone to get in 2025, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Drop a like below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching and for supporting all of these years. Bye-bye.